In the beginning of the story, we arrive on a massive isolated island, a place hidden far away from the rest of the world. And inside this island lives one of the most powerful creatures on Earth, Kong. But Kong isn't truly free anymore. Humans have trapped him inside a gigantic artificial environment because there's only one thing they fear. If Godzilla ever catches Kong's scent, another war could begin. And this time, humanity may not survive it. Living beside Kong is a little girl named Jia. She cannot speak, but through sign language she communicates with Kong better than anyone else ever could. Jia isn't just a human, she's family. Their bond is so deep that Kong would willingly sacrifice his own life to protect her. But today, Kong is furious. In pure rage, he rips an enormous tree straight out of the ground and hurls it toward the sky with terrifying force. The tree crashes directly into the massive energy shield surrounding the island, creating a gigantic crack. And suddenly, everyone realizes the truth. Kong has grown much larger now. This fake world is no longer enough for him. He doesn't want to live like a prisoner anymore. Years ago, Kong fought Godzilla in a brutal battle, and in the end, Godzilla won. These two titans can sense each other from miles away. That's why scientists are terrified. Because if Kong and Godzilla ever clash again, the entire planet could be destroyed. Meanwhile, we meet a man named Bernie. He works for a massive tech company called Apex Cybernetics, a company famous for building advanced weapons and robotics. But Bernie suspects something darker is happening behind the scenes. He believes Apex is hiding a dangerous secret. So one night, he secretly hacks into the company's database. And there, he discovers shocking classified information. A mysterious project is being transported to Hong Kong. But before he can learn more, emergency alarms suddenly begin blaring across the city. Godzilla has appeared. Moments later, the ocean explodes open as Godzilla rises from the sea. Massive, terrifying, unstoppable. Military helicopters immediately launch an attack. Missiles rain down from the sky, but it's useless. The explosions don't even scratch him. Godzilla tears through everything in his path like an unstoppable force of nature. People are confused. Godzilla was humanity's protector, so why is he attacking now? Then suddenly, Godzilla unleashes his nuclear breath. A beam of pure destruction erupts from his mouth, instantly vaporizing Apex's entire facility within seconds. The whole world is shocked. News of the attack spreads everywhere. A young woman named Madison watches the destruction unfold on television. But unlike everyone else, she refuses to believe Godzilla attacked without a reason. Something is wrong. And she believes Apex is responsible. She tries explaining this to her father, Mark. But Mark has lost faith in the Titans. He tells her, Titans are just like humans. Sooner or later, they lose control. To the world, Godzilla is no longer a hero. He's a threat. Hearing this completely breaks Madison's heart. Later that night, she listens to an online conspiracy podcast hosted by Bernie. The podcast exposes strange theories connecting Godzilla and Apex, and after hearing it, Madison makes a decision. She's going to find Bernie herself. Meanwhile, Apex CEO Walter Simmons meets with famous scientist Dr. Nathan Lind. Walter reveals something unbelievable. Nathan's hollow Earth theory was correct. According to Nathan, deep beneath Earth's surface exists an ancient hidden world, the true home of the Titans, a place filled with unimaginable energy. Walter claims if they can harness that power, they could finally stop Godzilla forever. But Nathan hesitates. Years ago, his own brother died trying to reach hollow Earth. The gravity pressure down there was impossible to survive. But Walter smiles confidently because Apex has created something revolutionary, an anti-gravity vehicle called the Heave, a machine capable of surviving hollow Earth. Nathan then explains something important. Every Titan has a natural instinct guiding them back to their true home, which means only Kong can lead them there. Nathan visits Dr. Eileen Andrews, the woman caring for Kong. He warns her Kong can't stay trapped forever, and if they want to protect him from Godzilla, they must take him to hollow Earth. After thinking carefully, Eileen finally agrees. Soon, a massive military operation begins. Entire fleets of warships escort Kong across the ocean. His hands and body are chained with enormous restraints. That night, G assigns to Eileen that Kong is angry. He hates being chained. The military commander assures them they'll avoid Godzilla at all costs, because everyone knows the rivalry between Kong and Godzilla is ancient. Both Titans see themselves as the true king of Earth, and if they meet in the middle of the ocean, nothing on Earth could stop the battle. Elsewhere, Madison and her friends finally track down Bernie. Bernie reveals his theory. He believes Apex secretly created something powerful enough to challenge Godzilla, and Godzilla attacked because he sensed it. Suddenly, back in the ocean, warning sirens begin screaming across the fleet. Gia starts trembling in fear. Through sign language, she says only two words, Godzilla, coming. Then, from deep beneath the sea, Godzilla emerges. The massive titan charges directly toward the fleet, destroying ships one after another. Kong is still chained down. The military fires missiles and rockets nonstop, but nothing works. Godzilla smashes helicopters out of the sky with his gigantic tail. Then he slams directly into Kong's carrier ship. The entire ship flips violently into the ocean, and finally, Kong snaps. In pure rage, he leaps from one ship to another, landing directly in front of Godzilla. And without hesitation, Kong punches him straight in the face. Godzilla roars back furiously. The two titans begin an absolutely devastating battle in the middle of the ocean. Punches, roars, explosions, massive waves crashing everywhere. At one point, Kong actually knocks Godzilla into the water. But then, Godzilla becomes truly enraged. He prepares to unleash his nuclear breath. Kong realizes if he stays another second, he's dead. So he dives underwater. But underwater, this is Godzilla's kingdom. Godzilla grabs Kong and drags him deep beneath the ocean. Kong slowly begins losing consciousness. He can't breathe. Eileen screams desperately for help. The military launches massive underwater explosions. The blasts finally force Godzilla to release him. Kong barely survives and rises back to the surface. Then Nathan comes up with a risky idea. He orders every ship to shut down completely. No engines, no movement, nothing. The goal is simple. Make Godzilla think everyone is already dead. After a tense moment, Godzilla stares silently at Kong one last time. Then finally, he leaves. Nathan immediately decides they can't continue by sea anymore. So Kong is transported by air toward Antarctica. Meanwhile, Madison and her friends secretly infiltrate Apex headquarters. Inside, they discover giant skullcrawler eggs hidden in a secret laboratory. But before they can escape, the doors suddenly seal shut. They've accidentally become trapped inside a high-speed underground transport pod, heading directly toward Hong Kong. At the same time, Kong finally arrives in Antarctica. There, hidden beneath the ice, lies the entrance to Hollow Earth. Gia gently signs to Kong, "Your home is down there." At first, Kong hesitates, but eventually, he slowly walks into the darkness. The heat vehicles follow closely behind him. Moments later, they enter Hollow Earth. And what they discover is unbelievable. An upside-down world unlike anything humans have ever seen. Mountains floating in the sky, strange gravity, gigantic unknown creatures everywhere. But suddenly, flying monsters attack the heat vehicles. One vehicle gets completely destroyed. Another creature lunges toward Gia, but Kong instantly intervenes. He brutally smashes the creature into the ground. Then Kong continues deeper into Hollow Earth, searching for his true home. Eventually, he discovers an ancient throne room hidden inside a mountain. And there, he finds something extraordinary, a giant battle axe. But this isn't an ordinary weapon. The axe is built from the dorsal spine of a titan, just like Godzilla. Kong grabs the axe and sits upon the throne like a true king. Meanwhile, Godzilla arrives in Hong Kong. The city erupts into chaos. Back in Hollow Earth, Kong places the axe into the glowing energy source. Instantly, the axe lights up with powerful blue energy. It becomes far stronger than before. At that exact moment, Godzilla senses something beneath the earth. Enraged, he fires his nuclear breath directly into the ground. The beam drills thousands of miles downward, reaching all the way to Kong. Using the opportunity, Apex secretly copies Hollow Earth's energy signature. But suddenly, everything collapses into chaos. Kong becomes furious. He sees Maya trying to escape. And with one crushing motion, he destroys her vehicle completely. Then Kong grabs the charged axe and leaps through the tunnel straight toward Hong Kong. Godzilla is already waiting. The final battle begins. Kong slams the axe directly into Godzilla's body. Godzilla retaliates with devastating nuclear attacks. The city turns into a war zone, but eventually, Godzilla overpowers Kong. He viciously beats him down, pins him to the ground, and roars directly into his face. Then Godzilla walks away. Defeated, Kong slowly dies. Meanwhile, Apex finally activates their secret weapon, Mechagodzilla, powered by Hollow Earth energy. At first, everything seems successful. But suddenly, Mechagodzilla gains control of itself and immediately kills Walter Simmons. Then it breaks free. The machine was never meant to be controlled. Godzilla instantly recognizes the true enemy and charges into battle. The two monsters collide in an earth-shattering fight. But Mechagodzilla is unbelievably powerful. Missiles, laser beams, mechanical brutality. Even Godzilla begins losing badly. Elsewhere, Kong is dying. His heartbeat is fading. Gia places her hand against Kong's chest. Nathan realizes there's only one way to save him. Using the heat vehicle like a giant defibrillator, they blast Kong's heart with a massive electrical surge. Boom! Kong's heart starts beating again. Gia signs something emotional to him. Godzilla is not your enemy. He needs your help. Kong slowly rises and charges back into battle. Just as Mechagodzilla prepares to kill Godzilla, Kong arrives and blocks the attack. Now both titans fight together, King Kong and Godzilla, side by side. But Mechagodzilla is still overpowering them both. Then Kong notices his axe nearby, but the weapon has lost its power. Suddenly, Godzilla understands. He fires his nuclear energy directly into Kong's axe, charging it once again. The axe glows brighter than ever before. Kong roars and attacks. One massive strike cuts off Mechagodzilla's arm, another destroys its body, and finally Kong tears Mechagodzilla apart piece by piece. The machine collapses forever. Hong Kong finally becomes silent again. After the battle, Godzilla walks toward Kong one last time. Kong slowly raises his axe. The tension becomes unbearable. But then, Kong lowers the weapon, because after everything, these two titans finally understand each other. Godzilla gives one final roar, then disappears back into the ocean, and Kong returns to Hollow Earth, his true home at last, with Gia remaining by his side.